Recording in progress. So the note today says any student that says they learn nothing is correct. And they are. Well, why? You cannot be learned. You can be taught, but not learned. I can't make you learn. So if you have headphones and you're kind of listening to me, you're not really learning because your brain isn't processing what's happening. Okay, simple enough. It's why I don't want that. If you're on your phone, well, the fact is I can't compete with this. You getting some sweet pictures from Guido here is way cooler than anything I could possibly teach because look at Guido, hottie. So any student that says they learn nothing is correct. If you decide, I didn't learn anything, you're right. One of the reasons why a student might say this is because learning is a lot like working out. You could go to the gym, work out for an hour, leave, and then you do this and there's no change. And you could argue there's no point. Almost every great intangible skill, even things like athletic ability, don't happen quickly. Leadership is not just, grabbing a sword and running into the battle first, charging in and all your men running behind you. Leadership is often merely acknowledging people, walking by someone you work with and saying, Ted, anything I could do to make your job easier today? And Ted's like, no, I'm good, boss. But meanwhile, Ted's thinking to himself, hey, thanks for checking in. As opposed to, Ted, do your stinking job. And then Ted's like, no, well, whatever for what I get paid here. So learning, leadership, athletics, getting in shape, getting swole are often very gradual things. And so when a student looks back and says, what did I learn today? They often ignore the fact that they did learn things, but because they didn't learn some huge, like momentous life lesson, like perhaps they learned some trivial thing, but they would disregard that. You don't sit down one day and say, holy cow, I just learned how to read. You learn how to read bit by bit. And over a long while, you become a strong reader. So we finished a short story. Quiz over it. You guys will get it when you get back. If you're here at all. You might be random people online. You're not doing the quiz. And no, don't email me requesting it. You're not getting it. But there's going to be many students who fail. Well, why'd they fail? Okay. Because yesterday I gave them time to read, but many of them, because of the nature of yesterday was an odd day with state assessments and everything else. I told students, once you're done, you're fine. I gave them a little break and then they could continue reading the story if they weren't done. And it was incredible how many students were complete with the story. And they immediately, I can't compete with this. A story can't compete with this. So when a student says, I didn't learn anything. And by the way, that's why normally I never allow students anywhere near these things in my class if I could avoid it. Of course, they do it frequently, but just, like ninjas and an old man like me, I can't keep up. They're too crafty like a fox. So my lesson today, we're going to do the quiz. Then I'm going to discuss this. I'm going to discuss the process of reading and the process of learning. But I'm going to really point out the fact that those students who really get angry at school, they're often not giving it a chance. The concept of the person goes to a buffet, sits down at a table, and then gets very angry that there's no food. The food's right there, but they're not going to get up to get it. So that's English today. We're also going to review conflict, but I've done a video about conflict. I think it was the last video I did. Not going to do it again. And then we are going to look at irony, but I'm only introducing it. So I'm going to save that for a video on here later. Okay. Lates.